is underrepresentation among some groups, but just how shocking is it? Well, we have some of those numbers. Women in the tech field, they hold just 26% of positions. But get this, Latinas, the disparity is even worse. They make up just 2% of positions in the tech field. So we want to get a better understanding of that 2%, the faces behind that number. Well, the Latinas in Tech Summit is happening today, and it celebrates Latinas paving the way for other Latinas in tech, those who are breaking down barriers. This summit brings together the Latinas in tech community and allies. The goal is to have a space to speak about the issues that impact the Latina workforce.
The future of tech is to create diverse workplaces.
Porque como dice el dicho, sí se puede.
And let's keep in mind, getting to this point has not been easy for many. Earlier, I talked with one of the many women facing adversity, especially with her immigration status. She walked us through her story.
In 2012, when DACA came about, I was, at that time, a high school dropout. So when I heard it, I said, okay, what do I need to do, the steps, so I can, be able to apply and be approved for it. So I went back to school during that time, and I was able to get my GED. Yeah. And then from there, I was able to get a role in security, which really opened up more doors for me to learn about tech. And in there, that's when I learned about this program called Year Up. It's a technical training program. And I did that program for 1 year. Without DACA, I wouldn't have been able to get into that program at all either. So it really even helped me just to get there, to be able to drive, right? DACA provides you to be able to get a license, to be able to get a job and be employed. Every 2 years you have to renew it, but it's still an amazing opportunity. So it helped me get into Europe, and then Europe has UPro placement as well that works with them. And through that, it allowed me to get contracting roles with different tech companies. And then it ended up me here at Salesforce, where now I'm doing full time.
I think also just the fact that you moved to Menlo Park, tech was around you,
yeah.
You realized that was something you wanted to do and you were determined. We also talk about just the lack of representation when it
yes.
comes in the tech world among a lot of groups, and we talk about Latinas specifically. You being in the tech industry now, can you tell us a little bit about just why you think that is a thing, why there is underrepresentation among Latinas?
Absolutely. I think it's different reasons, right? I think one of the biggest reasons is it can start in school. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just not having enough resources.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move into representation. You don't see it enough, right? You don't see a Latina as an exec. You don't see a Latina as in the role that you want. So you're like, is this even possible for me?
Yeah.
And then you get into the role maybe, or you're interviewing. That process may be biased, right? So do we have the right, steps in place to make sure that we're checking our subconscious bias as we're there? And when you're there, what are you doing to retain this talent? Right? What mentorship as well. I think sponsorship is super important, and it's something that I think Latinas have to strive a lot more than some of our counterparts to do, to make sure that we're seen, that we're recognized, and that our achievements are heard.
I like that you mentioned mentorship, because we talk about the summit that's happening today and why something like that is important. Very quickly, because we don't have a lot of time, but what do you tell young women right now who want to get into the tech world but may face some of the challenges that you yourself faced?
I would tell them definitely to not allow their emotions or what it looks like right there to rule them. I think that changes from day to day. And to continue to aim for what they believe in. Those impossible goals usually are what creates the biggest inventions and creations that we see today. So to put their faith in something. My faith is in God, and that's really what's helped me allow to get me here. So to aim for what you believe in and put that faith in whatever it is that they believe in as well. And knowing that for me, all things are possible through Him. So having that faith that, hey, I can do this because He who is in me, right? And also understanding the fact that I would say just knowing that if you aim for these things and having that faith with it, it allows you to be able to create and make that thing that has not yet been seen yet.
And I love that right there. And I think also when we mentioned, I know we introduced you as a Latina in tech, and we also said you were a daughter of immigrants. Do you do this for them too?
Do I do?
Yeah, you're a daughter of immigrants.
Yes.
Do you do it for your family as
well?
well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think just seeing them and everything, right? They said a lot of times dreamers, right? We get to dream when our parents just had to survive here.
Right.
And every day they're trying to survive. So for me, it's like I'm doing something that my mom and my father could have never dreamed of. So it's always repaying back what they gave to me and the sacrifices they made every day for me.
That is very well said. Thank you so much, Ana Delgado. We appreciate you sharing your story and really joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.